سلام دوستان عزیز، امیدوارم که هر جا هستید سالم و سلامت باشید. امروز یه ویدیو داریم در مورد ناخدای کشتی فوتبال برزیل که واقعا در اون کشتی رو باید گل گرفت که وینیسیوس رهبر اون تیم، ولی خب به هر حال اینم بنده خدا بازیکنه دیگه، کارش نمیشه کرد. امیدوارم که حالتون خوب باشه. ممنون از اینکه ما رو دنبال کردید و این ویدیو رو برای دیدن انتخاب کردید. از طرف آقای میکروفون و تمام دستان در کاران پشت صحنه که هستن از شما تشکر میکنم. بدون هیچ معطلی میریم سراغ ویدیو. امیدوارم که اگر جایی از ویدیو دیدید نکته چیزی داره برامون کامنتاش رو بذارید، حتما جوابتون رو میدیم. لایک و سابسکرایب هم فراموش نکنیم. بریم ببینیم که آقای وینیسیوس که تا اینجا 3 بار بهترین بازیکن زمین در جام جهانی شده چه چیزی برامون داره.
وینی جونیور. واو.
وینی جونیور again. Vinicius Junior lashes in the equalizer. Vinny Junior's in. And Brazil have 3.
Míraث again. It's above goal and Vinny Junior's there to head it home.
Vini Jr. once again coming up big, Jurgen, for Brazil. 3 man of the match performances, scoring in all 3 group games for Brazil. This is what we wanted to see from someone who really has to be the X factor for Carlo Ancelotti.
I have been very critical of Vini in the past, have made multiple videos on him. In particular, one of my biggest criticisms around him was that he was never able to replicate his Real Madrid form to the national team. But if we are going to criticize him when he was ass, we have to give him his flowers when he's doing well. I know that's a difficult concept for some of you to grasp. There's a lot of new people that have come to this channel from the World Cup, so let me simplify it for you. When players do bad, we make videos on what they've done bad and why they are struggling. When they're doing good, we make videos praising them and seeing what they're doing well. It's not that difficult. And Vini has been playing well.
Vini Jr., this is the Vini Jr. you want to see after a very difficult 2 years at Real Madrid.
I talked about it in my Brazil video. I knew as soon as Ancelotti became the manager that he was going to get the best out of Vini.
On the face of it, you have to say it's the Ancelotti factor.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to see it coming, considering all of Vini's best individual seasons have been under Eyebrow Man. The two just work together really well.
Yeah. Looks lively, started with confidence, and again, Carlo Ancelotti getting the best out of him. Certainly when you compare what he was like before Ancelotti and now with him.
Carlo has allowed Vini to play with freedom, to trust his instincts and just enjoy his football instead of trying to carry the pressure of trying to replace Neymar. And now for the first time in his international career, Vini is Brazil's true leader.
But this is Vinny's team. This is Vinny's team now, and that's what he's showing everybody. So
Well, he's the talisman now, isn't he?
He is the focal point.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy back in Brazil that if it goes wrong,
yes,
he's going to get the most.
100%.
Their World Cup began with a really tough test, facing a strong Morocco side. Morocco's high press caused Brazil all sorts of problems early on. They deservedly took the lead in the 21st minute when Saibari finished a brilliant move after being played through by Brahim Diaz. With Brazil under pressure, Vini really stepped up.
Vinicius Junior lashes in the equalizer.
Have an isolation like he did for his goal. It was a great goal. It was a great finish. The way that he beat defender, just taking a little touch to almost unsteady the defender as well. That's fantastic.
Brazil never really found their rhythm in this game, but thanks to Vini, they rescued a valuable point in what was a very difficult 1-1 draw. The second match against Haiti in Philadelphia was a chance to respond, and Brazil did exactly that. Carlo gave Vini the freedom to drift inside and attack the space behind Haiti's defense, and he was involved in almost everything. His dangerous low shot created the opening goal in the 23rd minute. He then slipped a perfectly weighted pass through from Matheus Cunha to double Brazil's lead, before scoring himself just before halftime.
Vinny Junior's in.
با وجود هایتی تو این گروه واقعا باورم نمیشه تیم سوم نتونست از این گروه صعود کنه. یعنی اسکاتلند تو گروهی که هایتی توش هست نتونست با تفاضلش رو یکم بالاتر ببره. خیلی جالب. کلا این جام جهانی عجیبی بوده تا اینجا و خیلی غیر قابل پیش بینی. این برزیل حالا به صخره محکمی یه دونه خورد، تقریبا هم همچین محکم هم نبود. مراکش خورد و جواب نداد. حالا باید ببینیم جلوی تیم‌های دیگه. الان ژاپن، اگر ژاپن رو بره انگلیس، ببینیم چیکار میخواد بکنه.
Brazil cruised to a comfortable 3-0 win, with Vini delivering a goal and assist in another outstanding display. Some people are gonna say, well, he only played Haiti, but I disagree. You can only play what's in front of you. And if he failed to score against a country like Haiti, We would all call him an international fraud, so it's only fair to give him credit when he spanked that team. He saved his best performance for the final group match against Scotland in Miami. Only 7 minutes had been played when Vini pounced on a defensive mistake, rounded Angus' gun with one touch, and gave Brazil an early lead. Just before halftime, Vini struck again, timing his run perfectly to head home Bruno Guimarães' cross at the back post. His brace helped Brazil secure another 3-0 win, finish at the top of Group C, and head into the knockout rounds looking every bit like one of the tournament favorites.
Not only to have won this game so comfortably 3-0, Vini scored 2 again, and then Cunha, of course, their strikers scoring goals, which is a fantastic thing for any football team.
By scoring in all 3 group stage matches, Vini also joined an exclusive club in Brazilian football history. Before him, only Jairzinho in 1970, Romario in 1994, and Ronaldo Nazario and Rivaldo in 2002 had managed to score in every group game of a World Cup. Every previous time a Brazilian player achieved that feat, Brazil went on to lift the World Cup trophy. So it's a bit of a good omen. Vini also threw himself right into the Golden Boot race. Everybody was talking about Messi, Haaland, Mbappe, then later CR7. Vini's like, hey, I've been here too.
Lionel Messi, 5 goals leading the Golden Boot race, and here comes Mbappe, here comes Erling Haaland, and here comes Vini Junior.
نکته ای که هست میگه مسی تو 39 سالگی داره با این 25 26 ساله 24 ساله داره رقابت میکنه، واقعا عجیبه. با اختلاف هم الان آقای گله و حالا فکر نکنم تا آخر جام آقای گل بمونه، میتونه، ولی خب بازم کار سختی با ببینیم چی میشه. ولی
all tied. Now I don't want to do that thing where as soon as a player does well, people act like the criticism before wasn't justified. For years, Vini struggled to match his Real Madrid form in a Brazil shirt. Under previous managers, he had scored just 6 goals in 39 appearances. And this criticism wasn't just coming from Barca fans or Real Madrid haters. The majority of it was coming from Brazilian people themselves who were disappointed by Vini. They couldn't understand why there was such a huge gap between what he was doing for Real Madrid and what he was doing for the national team. In the 2021-2022 season, Vini scored 22 goals in all competitions, including the winner in the Champions League final against Liverpool. He had announced himself as one of the best wingers in the world. He somehow got even better the following season, finishing with 23 goals and 21 assists while becoming the biggest attacking threat in Madrid's front line. But when he put on his famous yellow shirt of Brazil, that version of Vini just disappeared. He turned into Brazilian Garnacho. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, he was a part of a star-studded squad, but he never became the team's main man. He scored just once against South Korea in the round of 16, but he did add 2 assists. Despite the good moments though, he struggled to make a real impact in the biggest games, including Brazil's heartbreaking quarterfinal defeat to Croatia on pens. The same story continued at the 2024 Copa America, while Vini was dominating European football with Real Madrid, winning another La Liga and Champions League double, scoring in another Champions League final, and being named FIFA's best men's player. For Brazil, he looked lost. He was quiet in the opening draw against Costa Rica. He did bounce back with 2 goals against Paraguay, a really good performance from him. But just as he was building momentum, he let his emotions get the better of him. An unnecessary yellow against Colombia earned him a suspension for the quarterfinal against Uruguay. From the stands, you could only watch as Brazil, despite playing against 10 men, crashed out on pens. Like I said, heading into the 2026 World Cup, Vini had just scored 9 goals in 49 appearances for Brazil, with only 3 of those coming in actual competitive matches. For Brazil, a nation that has produced so many legends, these numbers were disgraceful. That's why the 2026 World Cup felt so important. It was Vini's opportunity to prove once again that he was a star. Because remember, in the last 2 seasons, he has not been playing well for Real Madrid. I know there's a tendency to just disregard the past as soon as a player does well in the present, but just because he's performing for Brazil does not mean that we just ignore that in 2025 and 2026, he played well below his standards. He seemed to only play well without Mbappe. His form in general was inconsistent. Some games he would look like the old Vini, then other times he would play awful. Under Xabi Alonso, he was getting benched and subbed out early. He didn't like that, so he got Xabi sacked. Under Arbeloa, he looked good again, but in bursts. For example, he got a brace against Manchester City in the Champions League, but he also got locked up on the wing against a second division Spanish side. It's funny, imagine trying to explain to a new football fan who's watching football for the first time at the World Cup that 2 of the best performing players in the tournament, and Mbappe and Vini, are actually teammates at the club level. Yet the 2 of them together can't seem to win trophies. Now, what would happen if Vini actually led Brazil to a World Cup? What would happen to his legacy? Well, one player he's always compared to is Neymar. Now, for me, Neymar will always be a better player. At the same age, Neymar had already played 75 games for Brazil, scoring 51 goals and providing 30 assists. He was the face of Brazilian football and carried the weight of an entire nation on his shoulders. But football is dominated by recency bias and, more importantly, trophies. If Vini leads Brazil to a 6th World Cup, many people will place him ahead of Neymar, simply because winning the World Cup is the ultimate achievement for any Brazilian player. Add in the fact that Vini has a much more impressive Champions League legacy, and there's a very easy argument that Vini has had a much better career than Neymar. Winning the World Cup would also change how Vini is remembered alongside legends like Ronaldinho, Kaká, and Rivaldo. Ronaldinho is still one of the most entertaining players football has ever seen. He won the World Cup, the Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or, but his time at the top didn't last that long. He also didn't dominate the Champions League the way Vini has. Then you have Kaká, who reached incredible heights with AC Milan and won the Ballon d'Or in 2007. But he was never the main man in a World Cup winning team, and he couldn't lead Brazil to another title during his prime. Rivaldo is often overlooked despite being one of Brazil's greatest ever players. He won the Ballon d'Or, starred alongside Ronaldo in the famous 2002 World Cup winning team, and consistently delivered in the biggest moments. However, he never enjoyed the same long period of dominance in European football that Vini has already built. He's won multiple Champions League titles, scoring in both the 2022 and 2024 finals. He's lifted several La Liga trophies, become one of the world's best players, and for a while had established himself as Real Madrid's biggest star until Mbappe came. So now there's only two things left, the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or. If he wins one, the other will follow. Now to see
خیلی ممنون که این ویدیو رو از چنل ما نگاه کردید. آخرش زیرنویس رو مشکل خود و انگلیسی شد. به بزرگی خودتون ببخشید. هر جا هستید امیدوارم سالم و سلامت باشید. کامنت ها رو حتما میخونم. لایک و سابسکرایب رو فراموش نکنید. بنویش معطلی و فوتو وقت با تو خدافظی میکنم. بقیه ویدیوهای این سری رو هم حتما نگاه بکنید. خدا نگهدارتون.